Hello students, welcome to the next class of economics. We are doing the book Indian Economic Development, and the next chapter is your liberalization, privatization and globalization. In some books this chapter is also given as the new economic policy, and here it is given as the liberalization, privatization and globalization. I also informed you in the previous class, this is also called as LPG policy implementation in the country, and the year was 1991. So you'll get in the books explain about the new economic policy. So that means it is asking about the LPG in short, or liberalization, privatization and globalization policy, and it was implemented in the year 1991. Okay, so hope you're getting this chapter what we'll discuss about. So we are going to discuss about the Indian economy after the year 1990. What were the changes, what were the strategies adopted by the government for the economic development? So here, let's start the chapter reading. So we studied in the previous chapter that India followed the mixed economy framework since independence. India was able to achieve growth in saving, developed a diversified industrial sector which produces a variety of goods, and experienced sustained expansion of agricultural output which ensured food security. However, some scholars were of the view that the policy adopted prior to 1990, which aimed at controlling and regulating the economy, hampered the process of growth and development. So that is debatable point. If you are saying that we have adopted that policy and that was hampering the development till 1990, which aimed at controlling and regulating the economy, relating to its external debt, resulting in fall of foreign, hampered the process of growth and development. So again it is a little bit debate wala point hai कि they are saying till 1990 was the economy not properly developed in the country. So what happened in the 1991? You can see in 1991 India met with an economic crisis relating to its external debt, resulting in fall in foreign exchange reserve. Foreign exchange reserve, a new term came, and there is a whole chapter in macroeconomics that name is foreign exchange. Simply foreign exchange, you all know in banking explained this. Foreign exchange means the foreign currency. Foreign exchange reserve means the reserve of the savings of foreign currencies in our country, and that reserve was, that savings of foreign currencies was reducing in the India, and it's massively decreased in the year 1991. So that was a alarming sign, red sign for the country at the moment. So the crisis of further compounded by rising price of essential goods. All these led to government to introduce a new set of policy measures which changed the direction of our developmental strategies. So what happened? Now the time was, so government should change its policy because previous policy was failed and we have started losing our lots of foreign exchange reserves. So the government changed its policy. So in this chapter we'll study about economic reform since 1991. What reforms, what changes, what implementations government did from the year 1991 in the Indian economy. So let's read it. What were the changes brought by the government in this period? So we'll study economic reforms or new economic policy. This is known as the economic reforms or new economic policy. The reforms of 1991. So economic policy adopted by the government of India since 1991 is known as new economic policy. The economic policy prior to 1991 could not achieve the desired rate of economic growth. Note this point. Why this it was implemented? So from here till here, the economic policies prior to 1991 could not achieve the desired rate of economic growth. To overcome economic crisis and accelerate the growth of rate of Indian economy, new economic policy was introduced in July 1991. Very important as per your fill in the blanks or objective question. When it was implemented, the NEP in short was introduced in July 1991. Now the question arises, why there was need for economic reforms in the country. Now the point is why there was need of the economic reforms in the country. So why this all uh, decisions taken by the government? So let's see why it was done by the government at the time. So to overcome economic crisis, the economic policy was required following a certain reasons which aroused the need of making economic reforms in the country. So there is a note given. Need for economic reforms is not mentioned in the syllabus. The topic is given for your understanding only. The need for economic reforms. So this is not going to come in the syllabus, but for your understanding, you should understand the concept in a better way. That is why it's given. Fiscal deficit was rising. That was the one of the cause. So fiscal deficit we studied in the government budget chapter, and we know this concept. Fiscal deficit is the difference between government expenditure and government revenue. It is financed by raising loans. Loan from banks, public and international financial institution. We can cover up this problem of fiscal deficit. So prior to 1991, fiscal deficit of the government increased too much because of increase in non-development expenditure. Like we are doing the expenditure, but there was no creation of any such assets which will create uh, income generation for the government. So expenditure on administration and non-plan expenditure, example expenditure incurred to help flood victims, it was going in vain, and there was no any infrastructure developed which is going to help the country's development in economic field. So development policies required the government to increase its revenue to meet challenges like unemployment, poverty, and population explosion. So this was required from the government end so that the economic condition can be better by the government. To continue spending on development programs did not generate additional revenue. Revenue from taxation was also low. That is again the cause. The next is government's expenditure on areas such as social sector and defense had to be planned in more efficient manner because there was nothing coming as an output from these sectors, and there was lots of expenditure government was doing in these sectors. So it was going in loss, and our fiscal deficit was day by day increasing. Fiscal deficit mean more expenditures by the government but less revenue earned by the government. So this loss is known as the fiscal deficit. The income from public sector undertakings is also not very high to meet the growing expenditure because we know they were in the loss, and there was no such policies ki government can close those public sector undertakings because the politicians, the workers, the peoples were opposing to close those because if they will close those loss making industries, lots of people will will become unemployed, though unemployment will increase in the economy. That's why they were running in the even the losses. So due to the persistent rise in fiscal deficit, there was a corresponding rise in public or debt and liability to make interest payments on the government, and Indian economy was in a debt trap. So in 1991, amount of interest liability increased to 36.4% of GDP. That is a very disaster situation. Like you can like very difficult situation for the government. Like it is earning overall production in the country is coming like every year 100 rupee, and the loans or it has taken, and the interest was amount was approximately 36.40 rupees. So that is a very bad condition for the government. The second reason was to implement this policy, that was adverse balance of payment. Again, the balance of payment is a chapter in the macroeconomics, and the meaning is balance of payment is the difference between the inflow of foreign exchange and outflow of foreign exchange. How much foreign exchange we have earned and how much we have paid to the foreign countries. This difference is known as the balance of payment. Easy and short. So when outflow of foreign exchange is more than inflow of foreign exchange, balance of trade becomes adverse. Adverse means opposite. That means it was in the loss. We were giving other countries more foreign exchange. Before 1991, exports were less due to poor quality of domestic goods, and imports were more despite of heavy tariffs on quotas. Balance of payments increased from 2,214 rupee crore in 1981 to 17,367 rupee crore in the year 1991. So there's a very significant change in the field of the BOP or balance of payment. The next reason was to implement it was fall in foreign exchange reserve. In the country, the reserve of foreign assets like foreign currencies, foreign securities, etc., and foreign exchange reserve were extensively used to meet consumption requirement and development projects. Like we were spending them, but there was no source of earning the foreign exchange as government make many restriction on the export and import of the goods, specifically on the imports. So the next is nothing much was done to reduce such profligate spending, nor sufficient attention was given to boost exports to pay for the growing imports and resulting in adverse balance of payment. So that is again a negative impact on the Indian economy due to the restriction till the 1990 year. So finally, the conclusion is there was fall in the foreign exchange reserve in the country due to the government's policy. Even after that, there are three more reasons which were caused or make a path for the development of the new economic policy. These points are your rise in prices or inflation was there, poor performance of public sector also responsible, and inefficient management in the economy in handling the situation was responsible for the development of new economic policy. So in the next class, we'll discuss about the these 3 points first, and then we'll discuss about the new economic policy in the next session. And till then, you should complete your work as I'm sending you the work, and you are getting 3 days time. And again, there is a attention for you all because you are going to get your examinations 20% marks from the work you have submitted in the Google Classroom, like 10 marks out of 50, 10 marks you are getting from your submission of work. So complete your all the work, submit it within the time. Okay, see you students in the next class.